Hey everybody. So Andrew and I are going to take a crack at this 15-minute MoGraph this week or session, and we're going to look at the icons project. I've went ahead and chosen to do the thumbnail, or sorry, the fingerprint icon, and I'm imagining this being on like a phone screen, like an in-screen fingerprint reader, and what would happen when you stick your thumbprint on it. So I did a little bit of prep here, and I guess Andrew, why don't you go ahead and start the timer, and we'll
Uh,
start from here.
yeah,
So 15 minutes on the clock.
I just hit the timer. It's
Okay,
now,
thank
you've
you.
wasted 3 seconds.
Yeah, here we go. But all I've done is in Illustrator, I traced this custom shape basically because I knew that would take me a little bit of time that I didn't want to waste while animating. But my idea is I noticed that these are all basically, all these shapes in here are basically based on circles that are just getting smaller and smaller to this center point right in here. So what I want to do is I'm imagining this fingerprint icon coming up first, and then you put your thumb over it. And so you're not really seeing what's happening there, so it's not all that important what the animation is, but I'm imagining this fingerprint transitioning into a bunch of circles, and then maybe it grows out and then collapses down to let you know, okay, your fingerprint's accepted and the screen unlocks or the payment is authenticated, whatever it is. So I'm going to just start by making a perfect circle, and we're going to try and fit that size to be the same arc. And then I'm going to use a bunch of trim paths basically to get it to be exactly the length that I need it. So this is going to be a lot of back and forth. I'm not going to be super critical on how perfect it is since I'm running on such a time crunch. Um, but that's pretty quick or close. I
Yeah.
think actually, you know what? I just noticed the anchor point is probably going to align with right here. So I bet you if I move my anchor point to that spot and then size this down, I bet you whoever designed this based it on that center point. Makes a lot of sense now that I'm looking at it.
Absolutely.
So I'm just going to thicken that out and with my trim pads, bring this down.
Have you ever considered a career in After Effects education? Because I think you'd be great at it.
It's been on my radar.
Okay, okay.
I put some thought into it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have butt capper open. Let's get butt. If you don't know about butt capper, it's a one button click to give you rounded caps and joins, as long as you have the layer selected. There we go. And that's from Adam Pluff, who makes Overlord and Rubber Hose. It's free. Go check it out. I assume most people in the School of Motion alumni are very aware of those types of extensions.
I assume so. Although a couple months ago, realized that he also often will ship K-bar icons with his products, which is
It's
super handy. Butt
very,
capper being
very
one.
nice.
Nice. So you've got your first ring.
Yep. And the way this is going, I can already tell I'm going to be spending most of my time just aligning stuff.
That's how it is
Uh,
sometimes.
which is why I'm not gonna care too much that that's not so perfectly aligned. It's gonna be close.
Mm. Maybe the client won't notice.
We'll call it like a prototype or like a
Yeah,
proof of concept.
that's my favorite term now. Is a prototype.
Yeah.
Just covers
So I'm gonna
all
skip
the
over the
sins.
custom shape because that custom path is gonna need a little bit of extra help.
And you
Um,
have 12 minutes left.
oh man.
You're doing.
Okay, so
I
this,
think you're doing great.
thank you. This one too, obviously I'm going to need that to trail off, so I'm going to be converting this to a Bezier path or Bezier path in a second. In fact, why don't we just do it? I'm going to go into the shape, right click, convert to Bezier path. So now I can grab this point and do whatever I want with it. And I'm going to open this path by right clicking and mask and shape path and unchecking closed. So that breaks that relationship and it messes up because of my trim paths. But now I can kind of just force this in to be the shape I need it to be, and then go back to here. So I think that is going to be the start. And this, yep, okay. Actually, yeah, it shouldn't be trimmed at all
Hmm.
because it's just a full path now. And then we have one more shape, right? One, two, 1, 2, 3. And then the custom goes between 2 and 3. Yep. And then we have this final one. So I'm going to duplicate this one since it's also based on a perfect circle and offset. Oh, maybe it's around this point. Oh, man. I didn't notice this stuff at first, but it makes sense. You want it to be all nice and clean, geometric, and aligned.
The
So
designer
that
was
makes
trying to
it,
help you out, and you're just like,
yeah.
"Nah, bro, I got it. I got it."
I need to align that end right there. Okay, so I have my paths. I have a bunch of trim paths. So from here, I want them basically all to turn into circles. Nice aligned concentric circles. So I'm imagining this line disappearing. This custom path that I drew, I'm probably gonna make a second path or a second circle aligned to that. So this one's gonna like wrap up to here, and a circle's gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and just start doing.
Yeah, yeah, feel free. It's obvious you do a lot of educational material. To your credit, you have 9 minutes and 45 seconds left.
Okay,
I think you can do
um,
this.
I think so too. Why is taper? I'm not used to the tapering inside
Mm.
um, the trim paths. I'm looking for what it. Ugh. I thought it was start and end that I was looking for. Hang on,
There's
stroke.
also a way using expressions to make a tapered stroke. I don't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, man, that was a while ago. I did make a rig and it worked. And
That's all
then
that counts.
Adobe answered our prayers. So,
Mm.
um, oh, I see. I only put trim paths on the circles. That's why it wasn't showing up on all of them. But I'm just
Mm.
adding keyframes in the start and end properties, and I'm going to copy that over to the ones that didn't have it. But with it or with the keyframes, then I can easily just bring up those properties by pressing U.
Are you
So
shaking a tambourine under that desk?
that that's my dog.
I figured something like that.
Yeah, he just ate, so he's at his active point of the day.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Yeah. I don't need to. Okay, so I think I have all of the trim pads I need, except for right there. Okay, everything's good. Ex Except I just messed it all up because they were all nice and aligned, and now they're not. But that should only be on the ones that didn't have them, right?
I
Not the,
think you still have time.
yeah, I'm gonna make it work.
Yeah, you have about 8 minutes, a little more.
Okay. It's now the offset property that's messing up. Okay, back that up, realign this. Not quite so much. Done. Oh, I have two trim paths. What? That's why.
Oh, that'll do it.
Okay, I gotta correct this real quick.
That's fine. And
One-
if I know this isn't a tutorial, but if anybody was wondering when he opened that path that was closed before, the way you do that is you select 2 points, or you can just click on, with no point selected, you can click on the path between 2 points. You right click, and that's how you get that up. Because for a while I knew that was an option, but I would click on a point to just delete it and say open or uncheck the closed, and it wouldn't work. So
Yep.
if anybody out there is wondering.
Yep. It's gotta be the path, not the vertex. The path segment.
Look at you.
Okay, I think let's just back all these up to 0 and see what happens. Yeah, I probably could have planned this out a little bit better and
No,
just
no,
thought through things.
it's much more
But
enjoyable that you didn't. I
uh,
think you're fine. You have 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
okay. Somehow still didn't have that trim paths on that shape. But okay, so that brings them all in. So let's imagine that's how this icon comes on. I'm going to turn off my guide layer, and I'm going to just use a little bit of easing through motion 3. So it comes on nice, right? And then I'll probably stagger this eventually, but for now, we're just going to have it all come on at once. So all the lines come out, and then let's pause for like a second, and then say that's when I'm touching the screen with my finger. I'm going to add a bunch of keyframes again for my next state, which some of these didn't get the easing. There we go. Okay, one more set of keyframes. By the way, little trick, it's not happening right now, but if you've ever set keyframes and then duplicated them, and then you've had a little shift in the motion or whatever, just select these ones and convert them to hold keyframes, which it's off screen, but toggle hold keyframe. Then nothing will happen after that point until the next set of keyframes. Little tip. Comes up a lot in character animation, I think. Okay, so lines come on, And then what I want to happen is for circles to happen. So from here, I'm going to go forward another second. And we're probably going to be animating the offset property too, but I'm going to just move that out to 100%. And let's increase this to say 180. So it's going to rotate clockwise at this. Oh, I didn't set a keyframe. There we go.
I'm not laughing at you. It's just like
Laughing.
it's
Yeah,
a
I
nervous
know.
laugh.
I get it. I'm going to try to use the same. I'll probably go back and re-ease all of this so it's the same. But there you go. Now you can see it's going around in a circle clockwise, and it's off the comp. So I'm going to have to shift everything after the fact. But this is the basic motion I want to happen for each of these. So again, what's this one? Why do I have 2 trim paths on this? I do. My goodness.
If you
You know
go
what?
over a little bit, it's fine. You have
Okay.
4.5 minutes left.
We don't have to. You don't have to sit and watch me do this whole thing. I know I'm going to finish it just because I have the idea in my head and I want to see it come to fruition. But if we have to cut me off, that's fine.
It's fine. Also, Zach Levitt, I don't know if it was recent or it's just new to me, but he released a script or scriptlet that you can use in K-Bar. Well, I guess I put it in my K-Bar that adds a trim paths that has a keyframe on the start and end just by default.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
That's all it does. But then, yeah, I click the button, I hit U, and then I have my trim path options
Yeah,
ready to go.
very nice. Oh man, who? This is a failed speed run. Okay, there. It's animating out, and then we need to go to a circle, right? Yes. Okay. So another offset, and then we're going to just rotate clockwise until it's 180 degrees, and then it's going to spin with it. Okay, good. So the first 2 are done. I'm going to skip over the custom path for a second. Actually, that's everything. I guess this is the last simple one. So I'm going to jump up there, and I'm just going to, instead of having it turn into a circle, I'm going to have it disappear. But I don't want it to disappear this way. So I'm going to have to combine this with the offset. I could have just reversed the path, I guess. But since I'm already working this way, I'm just going to keep moving. And I basically just want it to wrap up there like that.
2.5 minutes.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you want me to keep telling you, or do you want to
No,
just...
I do. I do. Oh, I accidentally added. Man, all these mistakes. Here we go. We're going to just call that good. I'm going to move to the custom path. So what I want to do with this, as those ones turn into circles, I want this one to basically trim up each end and break off into a couple different paths. So this might be a little bit more complicated. I might have to separate, because I want a circle here and I want a circle here, and those are both contained. Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, just those two sections. Circle, circle. So I'm going to start by bringing the start value to there.
You have a
Except
minute
this
45.
isn't the. I'm going to bring this back to here, and I'll have to have another shape that will complete this circle. But that's all I need to do for that part. And then I need a second. Let's take this one, size it to what I need it to be, which is about here. And I can get rid of everything before this point, and at the start, which I'll trim it there, I want it to be gone. I'll set the offset down to 0. And this is, again, a little hard to look at, so I'm going to turn off the other paths for a second. So
1 minute.
Okay. That's all right.
It's fine.
So I want this to be half the circle, and I want it to be the bottom half. So we're going to set it to 90 degrees. And that property doesn't need to animate the offset, because it's just going to come out like that, basically. So this, I'd rather it come from the other side. So instead of taking time to fix it, I'm just going to swap the scale, and now it's going from the other side. There we go. All right, creative solutions here, guys.
30 seconds.
Uh, so that does that, and then we need one more for the center ring, which I need to be able to see.
15. Do you want to count down? Because there's 10 seconds left.
No.
Okay.
I pretty much know where I stand.
That's fine. No, no, that's
Thank
fine.
you. But yeah.
But please finish it.
Okay. I'm very close, I want to say. Um, if we take a look, it's basically doing what I want. I don't want paths overlapping, so this path right here needs to get off sooner. So I'm going to back that up. So yeah, there you go. Hey, look at that. It just goes straight into that little pocket, right?
Nice. Yeah.
And this weird path right here, I need to trim that up. I haven't done that yet, so I need to back the start or increase the start to about there. And I need another ring just like this one, a little bit bigger. Let's see what I have animated. We don't need offset. Oops, wrong key. It's going to, yeah, be the bottom half again. So we're going to just set it to 50 and 180 or 90, I believe. Yes. Okay, so that's going to come out to make that circle. Is that how I want it to look? I don't really want it to overlap there, so I'm going to move these forward, just like I moved the last ones backward. Is this ring invisible to start? No, it's not. It's because this is at 15 for some reason. Okay, so it comes out. Yeah, okay. So obviously my paths aren't perfectly aligned, but I'm pretty happy. This is the basic concept of what I wanted. I'm just going to make a null object, and this is where I want it to end up. So I'm going to set a position keyframe, go back to 2 seconds, and move it down to, say, there, I think, and then parent everything to it. This will be my position control. And then that's just going to slide up as everything is animating out. Now, that might need to happen sooner or faster because, yeah, I don't want these overlapping. So maybe I back it up so it starts moving just a little sooner. And I would like to stagger all the keyframes, if I may.
Yeah.
So these come out. I'm going to start. Let me make sure they're in order. I like to work from the bottom up. So that's the outermost, and that is not in the right spot. So let's mush that up. Yeah, I think that's the right order. Okay, so I'm going to I'll just start with the transition in. And I don't need that keyframe. I'm going to offset. There's actually plenty of keyframes I don't need here, but I'm just going to leave them for the sake of time. And I'm just going to offset everything by 2 frames, see what that looks like.
And since you've already gone a little bit over, I'm going to take a second to say if anybody was wondering how he's nudging those keyframes, with keyframe selected, you can hit Alt, left and right arrow keys, and it moves them 1 frame. If you hold Shift, it's 10 frames.
Yes.
That's 10 times the value right there.
Yes, keyboard shortcuts are essential to efficiency. And they become muscle memory after a while, even after switching from Mac to PC.
Oh, you switched from Mac to PC?
Mm-hmm.
I was not aware.
Yeah.
How do you find, are you happy with your decision?
I am. I switched because I was getting into Cinema 4D, and I knew the only way I was going to stay in Cinema 4D is if I got into GPU rendering. And so I got a Razer laptop with a 2080 RTX 2080 in it, and it was like, it just makes 3D so much more accessible, I think. So yeah, I'm very happy with my decision. It was not painful. I started on Windows, so I'm not like kicking and screaming. But it did take a little bit getting used to the keyboard again, the layout. I do hit the Windows key all the time instead of Control. But yeah, I think I'll call it quits here. This is essentially what I wanted. I would have liked to see one more state where the rings, after they've turned into these circles, kind of breathe like out a little bit and then shrink down and collapse as a way to transition out. But I've gone over long enough, and obviously there's plenty of sweetening I could do to the easing of everything. But that's the core idea I had in my head, where the fingerprint turns in all these circles. So thank you very much.
Yep. And can I just offer some advice to viewers?
Of
Viewers
course.
being like the 5 people who are watching this on the square. I just want to say the best decision I've ever made in my motion design career was becoming a patron of Jake Bartlett,
Oh
Jake
my
Bartlett on
gosh.
Patreon. Just
Oh
wanted
my
to throw that in
goodness.
case you want to be like Jake.
Oh,
Okay,
Andrew.
that's all I got. That's all. I'm gonna hit the stop button. Good job though.
Okay, thank you.